In the first two parts of this series, we've explored the difficult truths that African nurses and healthcare workers face in their marriages: burnout, emotional exhaustion, and the constant juggle between work and home life. These challenges often leave them feeling depleted and disconnected, not only from their own emotional well-being, but also from their spouses, families, and loved ones. Tonight, in part 3, we're bringing you something different. Instead of just talking about the challenges, we're here to listen to the voices of those who have lived through these struggles. We're diving into real stories shared by African nurses and healthcare workers brave, individuals who have faced the heartache of strained relationships and burnout, but have found ways to rebuild, reconnect, and heal. Their experiences are raw, real, and incredibly inspiring. They've learned that while the path to healing is not easy, it is possible, and that sometimes the journey toward healing your marriage begins with simply sharing your story, seeking support, and taking action. Throughout tonight's conversation, we'll hear from healthcare workers who have been through the emotional and physical exhaustion of their jobs. They'll share how they struggled with burnout, how it affected their marriages, and most importantly, how they found the strength to overcome those challenges and rekindle the connection with their spouses. They will tell us what worked for them, what didn't, and how they made self-care and communication a priority in their relationships. Real story number 1 is from Amika, a nurse who worked long hours at a busy hospital, feeling overwhelmed by the constant pressure to deliver care while trying to maintain his marriage. His emotional health deteriorated, and his relationship began to suffer. Amika will share how he reached a breaking point, realizing that if he didn't take action, he would lose everything he cared about. But through seeking professional help, making time for his wife, and learning how to communicate his stress, Amika found his way back to his relationship and began to rebuild trust. Real story number 2 is from Sarah, an ICU nurse who faced the added pressure of being away from her partner for weeks at a time due to her rotating shifts. Sarah talks about the loneliness she felt and how that emotional distance put a strain on her marriage. Her story will inspire you as she explains how she and her partner learned to set boundaries, prioritize quality time, and create a deeper emotional connection through vulnerability and open conversations. And then there's Amina, a nurse who thought she had it all under control until she didn't. Amina shares the story of how the demands of the job left her exhausted and disconnected from her partner. At first, she didn't even realize how much her work was affecting her relationship. But through therapy and learning to embrace her emotional needs, Amina found her way back to herself and her spouse. Her powerful journey is one of self-discovery, healing, and renewed intimacy. These are just a few examples, but the truth is, there are countless healthcare workers across Africa who have faced similar struggles and found a way forward. Their stories are proof that while the road to recovery isn't always smooth, it is always worth it. Their resilience is a beacon of hope for anyone who feels trapped in a cycle of burnout and emotional exhaustion. As we listen to their stories tonight, I want to remind you all that it's okay to feel vulnerable, to ask for help, and to take the time to heal. If you're a nurse or healthcare worker struggling with the pressures of work and home life, you are not alone. These stories prove that with the right support, with open communication, and with the willingness to put in the work, healing is possible. The journey towards saving a marriage, toward rebuilding trust, rekindling love, and reconnecting emotionally is not one that happens overnight. But as our healthcare heroes have shown, it is possible to heal. It's possible to restore balance, to rebuild what's been broken, and to move forward with strength, understanding, and compassion. Tonight, I want each and every one of you to leave here with a renewed sense of hope. If you're a healthcare worker facing similar struggles, know that you don't have to carry this burden alone. Whether it's through therapy, open communication with your partner, setting boundaries at work, or making time for yourself, the healing process begins with a single step. And that step can lead to a better tomorrow for your marriage and your emotional well-being. So, what have we learned from these brave nurses tonight? Seek help when you need it, whether it's from a therapist, a counselor, or a trusted friend. Communicate openly and honestly with your spouse about the emotional toll your work is taking on you. Set boundaries between your professional and personal life to protect your relationship. Prioritize self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you deserve time to nurture your own well-being. And lastly, be patient. Healing doesn't happen in a day, but every step you take brings you closer to the life and love you deserve. As we close, I want to express my deepest gratitude to the nurses, doctors, and healthcare workers who have shared their personal experiences with us. Their courage in opening up will undoubtedly help others feel less alone and more empowered to take action in their own relationships. Let's continue to stand together in support of our healthcare heroes. And let's remember that just as they heal others, they too deserve healing, support, and love. If you love and enjoy this, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more. Thank you.